This video reveals the ugly truth behind the killing of Ahmaud Arbery by three white men. Hello friends, this is Unmasked Truth with Harmanjeet Saini, where I provide unique analysis of world events based on the unmasked truth that after surrender, Germany continued World War II clandestinely and became a killing machine. I also provide true news that you will find nowhere else. The U.S. Justice Department prosecutors charged three white men, 65-year-old Gregory McMichael, his 35-year-old son Travis McMichael, and 51-year-old Roddy Bryan in Georgia on Wednesday, April 28, 2021, with federal hate crimes, one count of interference with rights, and one count of attempted kidnapping in last year's slaying of Ahmaud Arbery, a black man who was gunned down on February 23, 2020, as he was out jogging through a suburban neighborhood. Travis and Gregory McMichael were also each charged with using firearms to carry out acts of violence. The Arbery family's lawyers condemned the killing as vigilante murder tantamount to a lynching. Attorney Ben Crump stated that the filing of federal charges is an important milestone in America's uphill march toward racial justice, and we applaud the Justice Department for treating this heinous act for what it is, a purely evil, racially motivated hate crime. Civil rights advocates accuse Georgia authorities of being slow to seek justice in the case because arrests were made 10 weeks after the incident, and then only after posting a video footage of the shooting on social media. The McMichaels told the police that they suspected Arbery of being involved in a number of neighborhood burglaries. When they saw him running, they chased him in their pickup truck to make a citizen's arrest. A few weeks later, George Floyd was killed, and protests erupted in all cities of America and around the world. Ahmaud Arbery's name also began to figure prominently in these Black Lives Matter protests. Some of the details of the case should have raised red flags. The first, of course, is that Benjamin Crump is representing the family. He also represented Breonna Taylor's family and George Floyd's family, and a number of similar cases involving killing of black men at the hands of police. The truth of the case is that Ahmaud Arbery was not an innocent man gunned down by white racists. He was involved in the same crime as George Floyd, Jacob Blake Jr., Dijon Kizzee, and others who got killed. They were using threats to rape young white girls or women or forcing them to have sex with them. Ahmaud Arbery was gunned down for that crime. In almost all these cases, the parents and other family members were involved in the crime of murdering a white adult and or child by cremating them alive in an electric crematorium. That's the crime Ahmaud Arbery's parents committed, just as George Floyd and his brother Philonis Floyd had committed. German masqueraders reward murderers of white adults or children by forcing white women to become their wives or mistresses. That's the reward Ahmaud Arbery was cashing in on. He was shot dead for that crime and still continuing to rape and was he was shot dead for that crime. These black men go around white neighborhoods scoping out young white girls, then use threats to force them to have sex with them. Ahmaud Arbery was in the process of doing that when he was jogging around when he was shot dead. His parents' day of reckoning will come soon, as will the day of reckoning for attorney Benjamin Crump for the crime of cremating a white adult and or child alive in an electric crematorium. Gunning down of Ahmaud Arbery must have been one of the first cases when the decision was made to bring the crimes of tens of thousands or perhaps hundreds of thousands of black men raping young white girls to an end. Strategies are perfected usually with trial and error. Private citizens were used to kill Ahmaud Arbery to set an example. But that is messy business because private citizens are then dragged through jail and the courts. I think the strategy was perfected later to use police to kill the murderers and rapists as examples so that others will stop committing that crime. That's what happened in the case of George Floyd, Dante Wright, Jacob Blake Jr., Dijon Kizzee, and others. The purpose was to stop the crime and save black lives. I hope people realize that these are not killings of innocent black men by racist or rogue policemen. The black men were being executed for some of the most heinous crimes a human being can commit. Rest assured that if there really are rogue policemen killing innocent black men, they will be brought to justice. But if young black men persist in this crime, they will continue to pay with their lives. I hope they make the right choice from now on. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please continue to watch my videos and read my articles on important world events, World War III watch, politics, international business, advice on health and medical problems, and much more for in-depth and insightful analysis. Please also subscribe to my Facebook channel, Unmasked Truth with Harmanjeet Saini, to view and get information on the latest videos.